Hey, Waters here from the Waters Wake Up Call. This morning we were talking about lost skills, which were very important back in the day, but these days we've just forgotten them or perhaps lost
My
them.
dad has an Atlas that sits right next to his recliner.
Yeah, that is definitely a lost skill.
And I'm still an Atlas girl myself.
Now, do you have a GPS that you lean on every once in a while, or is it mainly the Atlas?
I have a highlighter, and every trip I've ever taken, I highlight the exact route I've been on.
I do remember we only had the map or we had the Atlas, and, I was plotting our route. And I don't know, you feel like you really accomplished something. You feel like you got one of them high IQs.
Well, I feel like I actually graduated from you and I.
Now that's feeling smart. You smart Alec.
Oh, yeah, right.
Hey, the way you had to get the paper clip and the 2 toothpicks in your old cable box in order to get a free channel.
Man, I wish you had been my friend. I don't know that technique.
Oh, yeah. You had to get that big cable box, with all the channels on it. And if you got the paper clip and the toothpicks just right, you got a free channel.
Man, I wish I was that clever. I just kind of sat there and watched it scrambled and hoping that maybe something would straighten out and it would become a little
We
clearer.
didn't have it. Have no idea how good they got it.
These kids today, I'll tell you what. Yeah.
Get off my lawn.
Yeah, get off my lawn, you punks.
How about math skills? Remember when you had to do it in your head and
I don't think I could ever do it in my head.
count change out and you knew what to do, and now you just have a calculator and you don't need to know anything. And
You've got the app on the phone. You don't even need to carry around a calculator. It's all right there in your phone.
right,
Yeah.
exactly.
I think the problem with that is we've been transferring all of our data from our brain to our phone, and the brain just keeps getting emptier. Your phone gets smarter, and that's, I think, why we panic so much when we lose our phone, because if we don't have our phone, we've lost our brains.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And even you don't need a camera.
No.
You've got a phone.
It's all there. There's an app for that. There's an app for everything.
Yeah, you don't need a flashlight because your phone's got one.
Yeah, I know. It is. It's frustrating, but we're all kind of guilty of it,
Yeah, exactly.
Giving change. Everything is plastic. Charge this, charge that, do that.
Yep.
You go up to someone and hand them like $12.75. You hand them a 20.
They don't know how to make change.
Not at all.
And that's a pretty easy one.
You think?
It's cash and a quarter. That's, yeah.
Yeah. There was a computer down at a one time. I handed the girl, I got $9.67 total. I handed her 20. She handed me back 19 plus my 20.
What?
And I stood there, and she handed it to me, and I said, "Oh, you got it?" She goes, "Yeah, I got it. Behind her was the training assistant manager. I stepped off to the side, and this woman looks at me. She crosses her fingers. She goes, "Thank you." Stood there, and I waited for a couple customers to go. And then I stepped back. I said, "Do you want to start this over?" And she goes, "I didn't make a mistake." The manager never hired her after that.
Yeah, you give her a 20, you get $39 back. That's a pretty good deal.
I know it, but the assistant manager was hiring her to fix this problem because of 2 prior employees.
Well,
her books were off one morning, $142. Her books were off.
Wow. I keep hearing about the fact that change is just going away. We will not be using change anymore. It's just going to be bills, and bills will probably go away at some point. It'll just be plastic.
Well, I think the bills they're going to get rid of the 1s, the 2s, and the 5s, make everything in 10s.
Yeah, it's too bad. I mean, at least people used to know addition and subtraction. They don't even know that anymore.
No. They don't even know how to run a calculator.
Well, I hope most of us learned communication. I work PR for a couple companies, and today nobody talks to each other. They have no skills at working with people, dealing with people, and it's just very sad. They just kind of stare at you like it's a blank wall.
Yeah, it's very frustrating for those of us who know how to communicate, right?
Yes, it is. And they just have no skills in working with people, period.
Right. Well, I think, the phone and the texting and that kind of thing, that way of communicating took a lot of that away. And then we have the pandemic for 2 years, and we can't get near each other. So I think, now we're really, let's say, up the communication creek.
Yes.
I think we we need a social media called Face-to-Facebook, you know?
I think they should go back to, speaking in school, diction, which is another thing.
Right.
And teach the kids how to communicate with each other, and especially with adults.
Right. No kidding. I agree 100%.
Well, I'm glad we agree on that, and I'll let you go, and thank you for your time.
Well, thank you for your time, and thank you for the good communication this morning.
You're very welcome.
All right,
have yourself
thanks.
a good week.
The Waters Wake Up Call.
Weekday mornings, 5:30 to 10.
105.7 KOKZ.